Hello everybody, Sean Milburn here with the Milburn Motorsports channel once again today. This is it. This is the big moment we've been waiting for some time now. It is round 1 of the US Touring Car Championship. First race of the season in Las Vegas. You've seen the practice, you've seen the qualifying. If you haven't yet, you can find that on my channel. It's the previous video. This is the warm-up lap, so I've taken pole position in my class. And now we're starting in position 1. We're at the front of the sportsman grid. Ahead of us are out-of-class cars, so the touring cars, super touring cars, GT cars. They all get a good gap in front of us, because that way we don't get super congested right at the very start of the race. US Touring Car Championship is a standing start, so we do start from a stop. And once that green flag drops, the race is going to be underway. I get the inside for the first corner, so I'm at a little bit of an edge if I can hold Brad Austin off on the line. Very nice launch, car hooked up great. No clutch slipping, get through the gears. A couple bad starts from the touring cars. We're going to go ahead and make a big run on this pack. If we can find an inside line, that'd be ideal. Door gets left open. So we can't race against each other in out of class, but I still can pass people. If they're moving slower or at less of a pace, I can go ahead and get on by them. So that's what I did. Left a little door there for the Lotus to come on back through if he was able to, which he's not. Now I'm behind Gary Sheehan. He's in the Genesis touring car in front of me. We have Mike Seakin and Pete Bovenberg in front of him in the super touring class. I'm going to go ahead and kind of keep this position right where I am. Kind of take it a little bit easy on the car at the very start here. You don't want to push too hard right off the beginning. You can always come back later in the race, but if you make a huge mistake right off the bat, you can lose a race pretty early. There will be a rear cam. For some reason the GoPro recording didn't pick it up until a couple laps into the race. I'll go ahead and add it in once it's synced up with the time in the race that it's supposed to be at. So we go ahead and see Gary Sheehan make it by the super touring cars, which was kind of interesting. I didn't think Gary was going to go ahead and make a move on those guys, but he did. He got by them nice and clean. They are kind of holding me up just a little bit here. They are still trying to get all sorted out and get their spacing. That gives Brad Austin time behind me to catch up. You can see the rear cam now. The Lotus is there, followed by Brad Austin, followed by Reza Arson. So I am trying to maintain a gap away from those guys. The closer they get to me, the worse off it will be for me, because then I'll start having to play defensive instead of driving an optimal line. But yeah, this was kind of the ideal start. I got a really good launch, got away from the field, and now I just get to try and maintain a gap. Brad Austin makes a move past the Lotus there, ends up going wide, but gets it done anyways. So let's see if he's able to hold that position as he comes to chase me down on this back straight. Slowly working his way up to me here. You can see his cornering speed is quite a bit higher than what I'm currently doing. His car was working extremely well through all these corners on this track, so he was able to make up a lot of ground on me through them. Just keeping an eye on him in my mirror. I want to be aware of where he is, but I don't want to be checking them too much. You check your mirrors too much, and you end up making a mistake. You stop focusing on what you're doing, and you start worrying about what the guy behind you's doing. It's a pretty big mistake to make. But I'm trying to get better at. My first couple races, I had that issue. A little bit of gravel on that corner there. It's doing okay. Gravel's really bad to hit, especially on slick tires, because you could always get some kind of puncture in them. You get a sharp piece that's big enough to go through the tire. That can be a race ender and a tire ender, and they're expensive. We have a pretty good spacing going on right now, so we have room in front of us to run without getting tangled up with the out-of-class cars in front of me. Behind me, Brad Austin is making up some of that time that he lost off the start, getting caught behind traffic. Right now, I'm just focusing on a clean drive, so no mistakes. That is key. If you can just drive a nice clean race, don't do anything that's too risky. You're going to need to take some risks, but right now I'm on a defensive drive. It's Brad's job to try and pass me. So as long as I make sure I just don't make a mistake, then we'll see how this goes. I kind of have an idea of which spots on the track he's stronger than me in, just by seeing the way that he's been creeping up on me behind me, which corners he actually gains on me in, so I kind of know where I might need to be defensive. Right here you can see the RSX does have a little bit more horsepower than his Miata, so I am able to hold him off into a run into most of these corners. So right here we power out. Coming up into this next corner, I get just enough spacing where I don't need to be completely protecting that inside. Diving me there would be extremely risky, so most likely we wouldn't be able to get it done from that far back. Nice long back straight. You can see if you watch the practice and qualifying I was talking about, they turned this track into more of a horsepower based track, which they really did. If you can see down that back straight, I got quite a good lead in front of Brad there, which he quickly makes up on that braking zone. I push a little wide on that turn, but get it back over in time. Can't really make a move there. This turn is a really good turn for my defense, so if I just hug this inside left, moved out to the right, he can only try and pass me around that outside there, which is going to be very, very difficult to do. So as long as I just don't make a mistake there, keep my nose clean, and be defensive where I need to, things should just keep going smoothly. Minimizing his opportunities will be key. If he can find out a way to dive under me, that's going to slow me down, and he'll be able to kind of get in front of me through those corners, which then it'll be my responsibility to try and pass him, which I want to try and avoid. Nice tuck to the inside here. He goes to try and poke under me a little bit. Nice torque out of that corner. Headed into this corner, I felt that he might have been able to dive me from the distance he was at. So I played it safe, not able to get next to me around that hairpin, so I'm able to track out to the outside with no worries that he's going to be in the way. Now it's a run down the back straight again. You can see the power doing its thing down that back straight, giving me that slight gap I need where I don't need to drive defensively into this corner. I can just drive the normal line. There we go. He snuck up on me a bit here. Let's just go ahead and kind of protect this inside. It's not next to me, so I can move back to this inside. Sets up here. And now he has to try and go around the outside again. It's not going to happen. Straights, I got the power, so we just keep running. You can see kind of like the trend that happened throughout this race of just taking the defensive lines on the sections he's faster and pulling away from him in the sections I'm stronger in. My main goal right now is to make sure that the car doesn't break. So I want to be driving it in a manner that is safe for it. Don't want to be running it like way too hard, right? So I could be pushing that thing super hard, maximizing all my braking zones. But in doing that, I could risk a potential mistake, and I could also risk breaking the car. Those two things are the two things that will most likely cost me this race. And away we go again. So Brad is keeping it very close. Even though I do pull on him away from here, he's able to get right back onto my bumper. Now that the traffic is all spaced out, everybody's kind of in their own space. So hopefully we won't have to worry about faster traffic coming to lap us. At other tracks, the GT cars can sometimes lap you before the race is over, in which you'll need to let him by. Sometimes it'll slow you down, sometimes it'll slow your competition down, but the best way to do it is just on these straights here. Just go ahead and let the car by so that it doesn't interfere with anybody's race. Right there, Tom Milburn was out on the sideline signaling to me. We don't have communications in the car yet. That's the next thing we're setting up, so we've just been working off of like hand signs that we give each other. Right now, he just gave me a double thumbs up. Means just keep doing what you're doing. So that's exactly what I intend to do here. Nice inside defensive line. Really hug that inside apex, force him around the outside, can't do it. See, now if I give him an opportunity and I let him get underneath me in one of these, so say I just want to drive the normal racing line, and he creeps up on me through one of these corners, he can try and dive that inside and force me onto the outside, which would be a very good maneuver on his part and a very big mistake on my part. Right here you can see he's gonna try and work around the outside to snag this inside away from me over here. Can't get it done. Tries again on this outside. And he actually managed to get next to me there, but not quite enough to where he blocked my line. I made sure to give him enough space to where I would be just running him off the track. We do have to leave each other room. That is part of racing. There's no bumper cars out here. This is out here clean racing with the US Touring Car Championship. Really dives the outside on me there. I make sure to give him space because I couldn't quite see him in his mirror. Miss a gear. Mistake you don't want to make. Missing a gear happens sometimes, but minimizing how many times you do that is important. Sometimes you'll miss a gear and it's a very important gear change. Somebody will be hugging you like Brad is now, and say I miss a gear coming out of here and I'm in 5th or something. That's an easy opportunity to get by me. That's why trying to move the fastest with your shifts isn't always the best. It's just how fast can you shift reliably is really what you want to do there. Yeah, so at this point in the race, I started going from 6th to 3rd there. So I was starting to get the timing down in that braking zone of, okay, stay on the brakes, I'm in 6th gear, get it slow enough to where I can rough match downshift it straight to 3rd. And I found the RPMs that like to sit at for me to be able to do that, which ended up eliminating a lot of the gear changes from 6, 5, 4, 3 is a lot of gear shifts you have to do in a braking zone. Tires are also getting a bit slippery. It's a hot day, it's in the evening time, and we're quite a few laps into this race here. So what I've been doing so far has been working out really well for me. Just nose clean, head down, keep driving, be aware of Brad is, and take the defensive line in the sharp corners where he'll be able to pass. Brad's most likely going to start trying to press me into a mistake here of some kind. That's going to be his opportunity, say, right? So I haven't been giving him any opportunities up to this point. So he might need to start pressuring a bit harder. So in these corners here, if he can get a bit more of a run, that would benefit him a lot. Right here, this is a good press. So if he could get around this outside here, that'd be beneficial to him. Oh, he goes super wide out into the dirt. That is a few seconds lost there, and now he is quite a significant way behind me. So that's going to provide a really good gap for me to try and maintain as this race continues onward. I'm going to be able to drive the actual racing line now instead of having to go defensively on the corners where he might be able to try and pass. While I'm doing that, I can also try and maintain the car so that I don't have like mechanical parts failure. Because right now, if the car broke, that would be devastating. We're so far through, competition made a mistake, I'm out in front, and then the car breaks on you. Something happens. It's happened before. It's not fun. That's what all the preparation during winter was for, was to make sure that the car was going to be running reliably as well as strongly. Getting a car that does both is pretty hard to do. Takes quite a bit of work. But it seems to be paying off. If Brad's going to try and make up all that time that he lost on me there, he's going to have to start pushing his car basically as hard as it can go. In doing that, he's going to be heating up his tires and heating up his car, treating it a little bit more harshly. But he seems to be making it back up. Dust out in the distance, so might have to be aware for gravel on the track again. Somebody dropping 2 tires and spitting gravel all over the track. It's always good to be mindful of what's far down the track in front of you, right? So like, we have all this time just driving down the straight, missing a gear. Can't be doing that. No missing gears. But if you can just go ahead and you have a track that has so much visibility to where I can just look to my right and see 4 corners ahead. It's good to know what might be coming up. If you see a bunch of dust out in the distance, there could be stuff on the track with no debris flag because it might be a corner that is flaggered. It's one of the things I also noticed about this track is there needed to be a few more flaggers, I felt, because there were some times where I came up on a corner and there was just gravel and debris everywhere with no flag in sight. White flag's out, so this is the last lap of the race. Brad has quite a gap. He's going to have to try and catch me on in this one lap. All I need to do is the same thing I've been doing lap after lap, is just drive the car very smoothly. Don't let it get away from me, and don't make a really silly mistake that's going to cost me a race basically at this point. If I make a big mistake on the last lap, it's over. Brad is close enough to take advantage of that at this point. Monsters me on that braking zone, but it's okay, because now I can kind of protect my inside for this corner. He's going to try and dive around the outside, find his own space. Totally fine with me. Can't do it. Drag race down the back half of the track. Going to put me at a bit of an edge because I do have more power. Protect the inside here. No reason not to. Protect the inside again here. So he's going to try and make a move on me now. It's going to have to be right along the outside of this corner. Can't get next to me. I'm able to protect it. Get on the brakes so I can make this corner without blowing it. And onto the straight. So now I just got to cross that finish line, and the race is won. Yeah, you can hear it's pretty hyped.
Let's go!
Yeah, that was a very, very fun race. Learned a lot from that one. Brad Austin, really great race. I hope you guys liked this commentary on this race. If you want me to keep doing it, I will. Just let me know. It does not get closer than that, and I could not be happier than that. This thing performed beautifully. I ended up getting the win. I couldn't ask for anything more. All the time and effort we put into this thing finally paid off, and we secured the first win of the season. First race, first win. Hopefully we can continue going on with this kind of streak, but there's tough competition out here. It's not going to be easy. I don't want it to be easy. This is so much fun. That was such a good race. Props to Brad Austin for putting in such a good drive in that Miata. He really put in some work on that thing. Watch the rear camera in this footage. Like, if you're paying attention to what I was doing, pay attention behind it, because it was insane. It really was. Now we're gonna head to the awards ceremony. So you guys are gonna get to see what that's like with the US Touring cars. Should be fun.
There you go, Sean!
Yes, sir!
Yeah! Second place driving the Mazda MX-5, Brad Austin.
Red!
And third place driving the Acura RS6.
Big smiles, guys, big smiles.
Is that it? Good? Sure. Ready to go!
This is how we close off the US Touring Car Championship. The 3 people that podium in each class all take one big photo together, and then it's the champagne rush. So you go ahead and grab a bottle of champagne and see how many people you can spray with it before you're out. Very fun time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun going out there and racing. Next one's in Fontana in a couple weeks, so I'll have that race footage out. My brother Daniel Milburn will be driving in that race. So we'll see how he's able to do. I hope he can do well. It's a good start to this season. It's been Sean Milburn with Milburn Motorsports. I'll see you again very soon in the next video.